Good day, grade 8 learners. So in this module, you will be learning 3 lessons. Module 7, Rectangular Coordinate System. You will also be learning linear equations into variables and also how to get the slope of a line. Are you now ready? Let's proceed. We are now on the last lesson of Module 7, Lesson 3, Slope of a Line. What I need to know. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to define the slope of a line, describe and illustrate the slope of a line, and find the slope of a line given 2 points, equation, and graph. What's in? Have you tried riding a bicycle? What do you feel when you pass by these roads as shown in the picture? So we have here going down, just straight, and going up, or even curve. Is there any difficulty that you will experience riding up or going down a road? So words like steep, slope, pitch, and tilt are used to describe objects that are not perfectly flat or perfectly upright. Would you like to learn more about this? Are you excited to learn more about this? So you will find out as you go through the lessons. Good luck! What's new? Shown at the right is the picture of Mount Mayon. It is one of the fascinating volcanoes in the Philippines because of its almost symmetrical conical shape. The approximate steepness of the volcano is labeled by the line. So you can see here, we have here the word slope. The slope of the line can be used to describe how steep Mount Mayon is. So in this module, you will explore rate of change, which is often seen as the slope of the line of an equation. And let's find out how are we going to do this. A line can be described by its steepness or slope. The slope, which is represented by letter M of a line, can be computed by finding the quotient of the rise and the run. That is, M is equal to rise over run. The rise refers to the vertical change or the change in y coordinate, while the run is the horizontal change or the change in x coordinate. So here is the symbol. The slope of the line passing through 2 points, or point 1, will have the coordinates x sub 1 and y sub 1, and point 2 will have the coordinates x sub 2 and y sub 2, is given by, or can be written as, m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, or m is equal to y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over x sub 1 minus x sub 2, where x sub 1 should not be equal to x sub 2 because they will have 0 as the denominator if they will be equal. And you cannot divide by 0. So this is the formula in finding the slope of a line. And do you know that there are a lot of ways on how to find the slope of a line? To understand and find out more, read and do the activities in this module. But before that, you take a little break before you go on. Good luck! What is it? In this module, you will find the slope of a line using the following. First is using 2 points. If you are given any 2 points of the line, so you will have this formula: m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, or m is equal to y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over x sub 1 minus x sub 2, where x sub 1 should not be equal to x sub 2. The second way of finding the slope is through its equation. So we need to we can get the slope by the equation y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, or through the equation ax plus by equals c, where m is equal to negative a over b. And the third way of finding the slope of a line is through its graph. And we will be able to find out as we move on to this lesson. First is finding the slope of a line using 2 points. Example 1, find the slope of the line that passes through the ordered pairs 3, 6 and negative 4, 5. So our solution will be, let's represent, let the ordered pair 3, 6 be x sub 1 and y sub 1, and the ordered pair negative 4 and 5 be x sub 2, y sub 2. And we will use the formula in finding the slope of a line. So we have here m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And we just have to substitute the value of x sub 1 and y sub 1, x sub 2 and y sub 2. So we will be able to have positive 5 as our y sub 2, positive 6 as our y sub 1, so minus is our operation. For our x sub 2, we have here negative 4, and our x sub 1, we have here 3. So we have m is equal to 5 minus 6 over negative 4 minus 3. And let's simplify. So we will be able to get negative 1 over negative 7. And take note, negative divided by a negative will always become a positive. So our slope is 1 over 7. But what happens if we let the ordered pairs negative 4, 5 be x sub 1, y sub 1, and the ordered pair 3, 6 be x sub 2, y sub 2? So let's use the formula again in finding the slope. M is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Let's check if we will be able to get the same answer. So let's substitute 6 as our y sub 2, 5 as our y sub 1, 3 as our x sub 2, and negative 4 as our x sub 1. So, and now let's simplify. M is equal to 6 minus 5 over 3 minus negative 4 is equal to 1 over, and take note, the rule in subtracting unlike terms or unlike integers. So it will become positive, the operation will become positive, and the subtrahend will become positive. So we will already have 1 over 3 plus 4. So the answer is 1 over 7. And as you can see, they just have the same answer as what we did a while ago. So it does not matter which point is called x sub 1 or y sub 1, or which is called x sub 2 and y sub 2. Please take note of that. So we can also check by plotting the points in the coordinate system. So note that a line whose slope is 1 over 7, it means 1 is the rise and 7 is the run. So as we plot the points negative 4, negative 5, and the ordered pair 3 and 6, so we got here 1 unit going up because that's our rice and 7 units run. So that is going to the point, to the coordinates 3, 6. So that's why we got 1 over 7. Now let's have the second example in finding the slope of a line given 2 points. So we have here, find the slope of the line through the points -5, 6, and 2, -4. So let's represent. Let the ordered pair -5, 6 be x sub 1 and y sub 1, and the ordered pair 2 and -4 be the x sub 2, y sub 2. And using the formula in finding the slope, we will have m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Let's substitute. So we have here -4 minus 6 over 2 minus -5. And let's simplify. So -4 minus 6 is equal to -10. And take note that as we subtract different signs, we have the rule is the subtrahend will become, the operation will become addition, and then the subtrahend will be the opposite of its sign. So it's -5, so it will become +5. So that's why we have here -10 over 2 plus 5, which is equal to -10 over 7. And that is the slope of the line of this example. So as we plot the points in the Cartesian coordinate plane, the slope of this line is negative since the y value decreased from 6 to -4 as the line moves from left to right. So in this case, since the line is slanting from left to right, take note of this, the slope will always be negative. So the rise will be -10 in this case, and run is 7. So we have -10 over 7. Now let's have example 3. Find the slope of the line through the points -3 and -2 and 5 and -2. Now let's represent. Let the ordered pair -3 and -2 be x sub 1 and y sub 1, and the ordered pair 5 and -2 be x sub 2 and y sub 2. And now let's substitute to the given formula. So we have here m is equal to -2 minus -2 over 5 minus -3. And applying the rule in subtracting integers, so we have here -2 plus 2 over 5 plus 3. And let's simplify. The slope is -2 plus 2 is equal to 0, and 5 plus 3 is equal to 8, and 0 divided by 8 is equal to 0. Therefore, the slope is 0. And as you can see, as we graph the ordered pairs in the Cartesian coordinate plane, it forms a horizontal line. And take note that the slope of a horizontal line is 0. Now let's have example 4. Find the slope of a line through the points 4, 5, and 4 and -6. So let's represent. Let the ordered pair 4, 5 be x sub 1 and y sub 1, and the ordered pair 4 and -6 be x sub 2 and y sub 2. And substitute from the given formula. So we will be able to substitute and have m is equal to -6 minus 5 over 4 minus 4. And applying the rule in adding or subtracting integers, we will be able to have -6 minus 5 is equal to -11, and 4 minus 4 is equal to 0. And take note that any number divided by 0, the answer is undefined. And as we plot the ordered pairs in the Cartesian coordinate plane, we will be able to have a vertical line. And take note that the slope of a vertical line is undefined since division by 0 is not possible or not defined. And that was how to solve or to find the slope of the line given 2 points. And now let's proceed to finding the slope of a line using an equation. In finding the slope of a line using an equation, you need to express the equation in the form of y equals mx plus b, where m is the value of the slope. So we have here determine the slope of each line given the following equations. So we have here y is equal to 2x minus 5. So in this case, the equation is already in the form of y equals mx plus b. Therefore, we can easily identify the value of m. So in this equation, y equals 2x minus 5, the m or the slope is equal to 2. Let's have another example. We have here y is equal to negative 1/4 x plus 3. And same in letter A, the equation is already in the form of y equals mx plus b. Therefore, we can just have the slope as m is equal to negative 1/4. Now let's have the second example. What is the slope of the line whose equation is 7x minus 3y minus 10 is equal to 0? In this equation, we can solve it using two methods. So I will show you first the first method. So once again, we have here our equation 7x minus 3y minus 10 is equal to 0. So all we have to do is just to write it in the form of y equals mx plus b. And it will become negative 3y is equal to negative 7x plus 10. And afterwards, we have to divide it both sides by negative 3 so that we can have the form y equals mx plus b. So we will divide, as we divide negative 3y divided by negative 3, we will only have y, and negative 7x plus 10 divided by negative 3 is equal to positive 7 over 3x minus 10 over 3. Because a negative divided by a negative will become positive. And positive 10 divided by negative 3, it will become negative. That's why we got negative y is equal to positive 7 over 3x minus 10 over 3. And now, we already have the form y equals mx plus b. Therefore, we can already get the slope of this line, or the slope of this equation. So the slope of this equation is 7 over 3. So in the first method, we were able to get the slope as 7 over 3. And now in the second method, let's check if we could still have the same answer. So we have here our equation 7x minus 3y minus 10 is equal to 0. And in this case, this time, we are going to write it in the form of ax plus by equals c, where m is equal to negative a over b. So it will now become 7x minus 3y is equal to 10. So 10 is our c. And now, we have here a, which is 7, and b, which is negative 3. And m equal to negative a over b, it will become m is equal to negative 7 over negative 3 as we substitute to the formula. So the answer is m is equal to 7/3. So take note, negative, a negative multiplied by a negative, it will always become positive. So therefore, our first method and the second method will just have the same answer. So you can just have either of the two methods. You can use either of the two methods in getting the slope of the line. Now we will have the third method in finding the slope of a line, and this time using graphs. So we have here example number 1. Notice that in the graph at the right, the line touches the points -5, 4, and 4, 0. So in this case, this is the graph, and as you can see, the line is, or the graph slants from the left to right. So in this case, as we all know, if the graph slants from left to right, we are expecting a negative slope. And using our formula, m is equal to rise over run, or rise over run if we are just using the graph, we can already get the slope of the line. So as you notice, so from point -5 and 4, it will go down 4 units, going down to the x-axis. And then from there, so the rise is -4, and the run is, so we just have to count units going to the x-1, which is +4, since we don't have y here. So we just have to count, and we were able to get 9. So therefore, as we substitute m is equal to rise over run, we will be able to get the slope of -4/9. And aside from m is equal to rise over run, we also have another method. If graph is only given. If a graph is only given, then we can also still use the formula in getting the slope of a line, which is m is equal to y⁻² minus y⁻1 over x⁻² minus x⁻1. So we were able to get here -5, the points -5 and 4, and the ordered pair 4, 0. So let's just represent the ordered pair -5, 4 as x⁻1 and y⁻1, and the ordered pair 4 and 0 as x⁻² and y⁻². And after that, we just have to substitute. So from the formula of the slope. So we got here 0 minus 4 over 4 minus -5. And let's simplify. So we will get -4 over 4 plus 5 is equal to -4/9. So therefore, our answer a while ago was just the same with our answer now. So you can just have the rise over run formula if there is a specific point given. So let's have another example in which only graph is given. So we need to find the slope of this graph. So in this case, we don't know the specific points of this graph. However, we just know that it is slanting from right to left. So therefore, we can expect that this has a positive slope. And to find the slope of the line at the right graph, you may identify 2 points that is within the line. For example, 0, 0 or 3, 5. because we don't have any specific points of this line. We just have to get any of the points. Alright? And then, using the formula, m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, we just have to substitute the value. So we will be able to have 5 minus 0 over 3 minus 0, which is equal to 5 over 3. But what if we will choose another points of the line? Will we still be able to have the slope 5 over 3? Let's find out. So let's try to have the points negative 3 and negative 5 and the ordered pair 3, 5. So using the formula in getting the slope, let's substitute the value. So we will be able to get 5 minus negative 5 over 3 minus negative 3. And once again, you have to remember the rule in subtracting unlike signs. So we will have 5 plus 5 over 3 plus 3, in which the answer will be 10 over 6. And take note, we can still reduce 10 over 6 into lowest term. So we will have the answer 5 over 3. And as you can see, even though we use another point, but still it's in the same line, we were still able to get the value of the slope, which is 5 over 3. Thus, we have to remember that any of the 2 points that touches the line can be used as values of x sub 1 and y sub 1 and x sub 2 and y sub 2 in finding the slope. Alright? So I hope it is clear. Now I believe you're now ready to find the slope of a line. What's more? Activity 7.5. A. Fill in the blanks with the correct term or phrase. Number 1. The blank of a line is the ratio of the change in y to the change in x. Number 2. Blank lines have a slope of 0. Number 3. The slope in the equation y is equal to 2x minus 1 is blank. Number 4. The variable used to represent the slope is blank. Number 5. If the slope is positive, the line goes upward as x is blank. B. Identify the slope of each line on the Cartesian coordinate plane. Tell whether it is positive, negative, 0, or undefined. So we have here number 1, line A, number 2, line B, number 3, line C, number 4, line D, 5, line E. Letter C. Find the slope of a straight line that passes through the given pair of points. Number 1, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Number 2, negative 5, 3, and negative 5, 1. Number 3, 7, 2, and negative 1, 2. Number 4, negative 1, negative 1, and 2, 8. Number 5, 0 and 1/2, and 1 and negative 1/2. So just do your best, and I know you can just do it. So we have D. Find the slope of the given equations. Number 1, y is equal to x minus 1. 2, y is equal to negative 2x plus 5. 3 is 3x is equal to y minus 2. 4 is 3/4 x is equal to 8 minus y. And number 5 is we have 4 over 5 y minus 1 is equal to x. And that's it for our activities. I know you can just do it, so just do your best, alright? So I would like you to remember the following key points about this lesson. What I need to remember. First, the slope of the line can be used to describe how steep or gradual an object is. It is also defined as the ratio of the vertical rise of the line to its corresponding run and is denoted by the symbol m, which has m is equal to rise of a run, which is also equal to the change of y over the change of x, which will also be equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, or y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over x sub 1 minus x sub 2, where x sub 1 should not be equal to x sub 2. Second, a basic property of a line other than the vertical line is that its slope is constant. Third, the slope of the horizontal line is 0, while that of the vertical line is undefined. A vertical line does not represent a linear function. That's why the slope is undefined. You also have to remember that the value of the slope m tells the trend of the graph. If m is positive, then the graph is increasing from left to right. If m is negative, then the graph is decreasing from left to right. If m is 0, then the graph is a horizontal line. If m is undefined, then the graph is a vertical line. So here is the graph of a positive slope. The line rises from left to right. And for the negative slope, the line falls from left to right. We also have here, if the slope is 0, then the line is horizontal. And if the line is vertical, therefore the slope is undefined. Okay? The other things that you have to remember is that to find the slope of a line using an equation, you just have to simply express the equation in the form of y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope. And to find the slope of a line using ax plus by equals c, simply solve for y such that y is equal to negative a over b x plus c over b, where m is equal to negative a over b. Once again, take note of these key points. Alright, so that's all for our Module 7, Lesson 3. So I hope you were able to take note of the key points that you have to remember from Module 7, Lesson 1 to 3. And as we end this lesson, or shall I say this module, let me give you this quotation, which means the acronym MATH. It means mistakes allow thinking to happen. So do not be afraid to commit mistakes, because it will help us grow. And it will help you think that there's always room for improvement. So just keep trying. I know you can really just do it. So I hope you learned something from Module 7. That's all for this module.